Welcome to the Smith family's Tertiary Talk with Queensland University of Technology. I'd first like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands from which we are recording from today. I live and work on Darawal land and would like to pay my respects to elders past and present. I would also like to express my gratitude to the families and students in the communities that we work with in allowing us to be part of their educational journey. My name is Alison, and I'm a project manager with the higher education team at the Smith family. The Tertiary Talk series is an opportunity for Learning for Life students and their families to hear directly from tertiary providers to help inform their study or other choices once they leave school. As a previous Learning for Life recipient and the first in my family to finish Year 12 and go on to university, I know how difficult planning for these next stages of study can be. At times, it felt like everything was in a different language. That's why I'm so pleased that Adam is joining us here today. Adam, I'd like to invite you to acknowledge the lands you're recording on today, as well as to share a little bit about your role and Queensland University of Technology.
Thank you, Alison. My name's Adam McNiven. I'm on Turrbal and Yuggera land, which is around Meanjin, just north of Brisbane. And I'd like to acknowledge all the traditional owners and pay my respects to all elders past, present and emerging. And I'd also like to extend that same acknowledgement and respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching this recording. My role, also a little bit about me, I was first in my family to go to university as well. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in school. I was really unsure. I didn't really have people around me to help guide me at the time, so I sort of just had to find my way through. I didn't think I'd be able to go to university. Many years later, I now work as my role as a student outreach and engagement officer at the university. I'm also a qualified career practitioner, which means I've had to do university courses to get this role, and I've also done vet courses as well. So I've done vet courses at TAFE around sport coaching, because that was an interest of mine early on, risk management, project management, and then I've also done some study at university. So I've gone from someone who was really unsure what I wanted to do, didn't think it'd be possible for me to study, to now I've done multiple courses around my career path. And now a big part of my role is helping young people navigate their pathways to further education, training and employment. So I'm really pleased to be joining you this morning and happy to share the information that I have to help young people and parents and carers make decisions as they go through the journey.
Thanks so much, Adam. Such a pleasure to have you here today, and thank you for sharing a little bit about your educational journey as well. It's definitely not linear. It is a journey, and so pleased to hear some more information from you. So, some of our secondary Learning for Life students may not know what they'd like to do after they leave school. Is there anything that you would recommend students do to help explore what post-school career or course of study is right for them?
Well, I think first of all, it's important to acknowledge that and remind young people that it's okay not to have a clear pathway in their mind or a clear decision on what they want to do after school. And it's important that parents and carers know that as well, that it takes time to make that decision. As you said, it's not a linear pathway. You can change your mind at any stage. And I think the important piece is to stay curious, to try things, to find out what you like and what you don't like, and to explore multiple possibilities before you make a decision, and then know that you can change your mind at any stage. So I encourage young people to explore their interests and strengths by participating, if they can, in career-related sessions or workshops that might be available at school, or if they're already at TAFE or in vet courses, see what's available there, or once they get to university to explore those. There are a lot of online tools. Some people don't get to access those at school because they're not available, but there are a lot of tools online where people can explore occupations, and you can watch videos on what you can do on a day-to-day basis. You get a list of what the tasks are. You can see how much money they earn, whether there is job growth in that area, because that's an important thing to consider. If you're going to commit to further study after school, you want to do something where you know there's a high likelihood of employment afterwards, so where there's job growth. And you can do career quizzes there as well. So you can do quizzes where I ask you a lot of questions about who you are, the type of interests you have, your skills, the things you like, and that can help identify some occupations that you might like to explore. So a couple that I would recommend is yourcareer.gov.au. If people just Google your career, it will come up. There's lots of quizzes on that. Search tabs where you can look at occupations, videos to watch, lots of interactive elements that are useful for students and parents and carers. And My Future is also another good one. Um, Volunteering, if people don't have paid employment and aren't developing employability skills in that way, they can volunteer or job shadow or try new things to find out what types of jobs they might or might not be interested in. Chatting with professionals, I've found if you go to a occupational therapist or podiatrist or a dentist, they're usually happy to answer questions. If you ask, do you like your job? How did you get into this? What types of things do you do? Would you recommend it? So I, recommend people be curious in that way. They can attend open days and things if there are things on and they're interested in possibly going to a TAFE or a university. We encourage people to go along and see if they're comfortable there, ask questions, attend sessions. Um, yeah, you don't have to rush to decide is the main thing I would say. It's okay to change your mind at any stage, and there are lots of pathways available to help young people. I just encourage them to do a bit of research and to explore what those options might be.
Thanks so much, Adam. Really great tips there. And I love that point. It's so important to stay curious at this time. So, you did mention some pathways there. Do you have any tips for students who are concerned about getting into their selected course? What are some things that students can do to strengthen their applications? And what are some alternative pathways should students miss out on their first course preference?
Okay, so if people have got an idea of the particular course that they want to do, it's important that they search those courses and see what the requirements are to get into those courses. Is there a selection rank cutoff for those courses? Do they need prerequisites? If they had to have done an English or a maths or a science beforehand, is there anything they need to have done for those courses? If they know what they want to do, different universities usually have different cutoffs. So here in Queensland, where we are, there might be a few different universities offering the same course. One might have a cutoff in the 80s, one might be in the 70s, one might be in the 60s for ATAR or selection ranks. So it's important to know that different universities or different campuses have cutoffs. And once you know the course you want to get into, you can usually put in 6 preferences to apply. And then what happens is they will offer you the highest eligible offer for the course that you meet the requirements for. So once you know what you want to do, it's important to know that there are different cutoffs at different universities. In terms of pathways, there are hundreds of pathways now into particular courses. So if people don't have the mark or the achievement level they need to get straight into the course, they can take pathways and other courses to do those first as a stepping stone into those particular courses. So a lot of the time now people might choose to do a vet course first, a certificate course, and use that as a stepping stone into further study. Most universities now have a free foundation course as well. Here at QUT, we call it our university preparation program. I know a lot of other universities have similar, we'll call them tertiary preparation programs. At TAFE, they're adult tertiary preparation programs. They are free and they provide a foundation. They give you your subjects, the prerequisites if you don't already have them, but they give you an opportunity to study, to try things, to build confidence, and use that as a stepping stone into further study from that into degree programs. Otherwise, people might do diplomas first and use that as a stepping stone into degree programs. And a lot of universities also consider extracurricular type of activity as well. So I'd encourage people to possibly strengthen applications by highlighting extracurricular activities that they do. And most universities also have, or they all do, adjustment schemes where people can boost their rank based on their personal circumstances. So, for instance, here at QT, we offer Learning for Life students. 6 adjustments that boost their rank after school. So that automatically gets applied to their ATAR or selection rank. They'll get 6 adjustment ranks for that. And so it boosts their marks. And there are others around like that as well. So that's an important thing to look into.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Adam. Some really great points there. And I think, love that you've pointed out how many different pathways there are to university. I think there's as many pathways as there are students, and it's just about finding the right road that works for you to your destination.
Absolutely.
So, how would you recommend students apply to QUT? Do you have an early entry application process, and how does this work?
Yeah, if people are interested in applying to QUT, for school leavers, Year 12 students, they would generally apply. Applications open at the start of August each year, and people can apply right up until January for studying the following year. They would submit a QTAC application. Even people in other states who wanted to apply to QUT would apply through QTAC. They can also apply through UAC if they're in New South Wales and looking studying in another state, but they would apply for any of the Queensland universities through QTAC, including QUT. If they put QUT in their first 3 preferences, they will be sent an email to offer them the opportunity to apply for our early offer process. And in that, they'll be asked to provide some results from the Year 11 subjects. And if eligible, based on those results, they'll be made an early offer, and then they'll have a bit of a guarantee that they'll know that they can start here at university next year. Otherwise, if they don't go for the early offer scheme, first offers are generally made on the last day of school for Year 12. And for adults, it's similar. So if anyone's at TAFE thinking of applying, or if people have been out of school for a year, they would apply as well. They might have a slightly different process, but they do that through QTAC as well, and they'll be invited to apply for any schemes that they'll be eligible for. But again, if they're a Learning for Life student, they will receive adjustments and other support through the process of applying.
Thanks so much, Adam. Really valuable information there. So, how is studying at QUT different to studying at school? Is there anything that you would recommend to students about making a successful transition to tertiary study?
Yeah, I think that university study in general and at QT offers a lot more flexibility and independence to school, but it also requires the students to take greater responsibility for managing their own time and their own workload. So there'll be less structured guidance, where at school a teacher will be asking or reminding them to put a first draft in, or when things are due, or holding them accountable if they're there or not on their attendance, trying to keep their attendance at 90%. At university, people don't chase you up on those things. So it's up to you if you attend or not, and it's up to you if you submit your assessment or not. So people need to take their own responsibility. So we would recommend students, when they start at any university, to connect early with the support services that are available. We'd encourage them to attend orientation sessions. There are lots of support, free support available to students once they get here. There's a lot of free peer programs as well, where you get to connect with other first year students. There's mentor programs available where people that might be a year or two further in the study can support you. There's study skills workshops where you can go and get academic support. A lot of the time there might be free platforms like Studiosity where you can submit assessment and get feedback for free. Some students might use that at school. That's available at university as well. There's academic advisors, and there are a lot of different programs to support people to make a smooth transition and to help them get the best out of their study while they're here as well. So yeah, my advice would be to engage early in any of the support that might be available to them here at university.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree there, Adam. It's such a more independent study environment. And as you say, so important to connect early with those supports so that you have them there and ready to go should you need them. So you have mentioned some of these, but are there any other supports available for students who are studying at QUT that you'd like to share some more information about?
Yeah, there are so many services available to support people. We have over 50,000 students, so we're bigger than a town like Bundaberg. So there's so many support services here. Um, to look after students. We have some free medical support available to students. There's careers services that'll help you with resumes, applying for part-time jobs, preparing you for full-time jobs after work, helping you organise work integrated learning where you get to go out and work in industry while you study. It's a career services. There's a lot of financial assistance. Learning for life students at QUT, if they apply here, get a guaranteed scholarship when they start in their first year and access to a computer. There's wellbeing programs to help people with their general wellbeing, lots of peer mentoring. We have services to help people living with disabilities where they'll get accessibility plans to help them with adjustments around their study and whatever support they need. Free counselling, free tutoring, writing workshops, and there are a whole lot of fun student clubs, activities, events where people get to engage in that type of activity as well. So I think it's important just to let students and parents and carers know that they're not alone when they come to university, and they have a lot of access to resources to help them academically, personally, and professionally.
Absolutely. And great to hear that there's such a variety for every stage of that student journey as well, whether it's in the academics, as you say, or their career, or even just making sure that you've got a good support network and you've connected with others there. And particularly lovely to hear that there are supports, especially for Learning for Life students as well, should you choose to study at QUT.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Adam, for joining us today and sharing this information for our Learning for Life students. If you are a Learning for Life student or family member and are interested in finding out more about QUT, there are online resources available from the Smith family, or you can explore their website. Learning for Life students and their families can also access additional support with planning their post-school and study pathways by speaking to their family partnership or tertiary coordinator.